In 2005, I found a fancy stone in a flint scatter near Clodgy Moor. I thought that it had been worked by flint tools to extract coloured pigments. Neolithic pottery and stone tools from nearby were catalogued for the Clodgy Moor project, but this stone was returned. In February 2014, I looked again and saw that it appeared to be a goddess idol. That was after reading the works of Marija Gimbutas whilst doing research for the Clodgy Moor boat slate. The nodule of yellow, I believe, is the mineral limonite. It has been carved into a diagonal cross-hatched pattern and in angled sunlight shows the head of an owl, picked out in lozenges and triangles. A microscope scans the surface. The image is 6 by 4 millimeters. The black material near her neck, I believe, is added birch tar resin. Her body has a natural white layer of, I believe, feldspar. Below the black deposit are flowery red structures naturally growing through the white matrix. The red features have been brought out in relief by digging out the feldspar. The goddess has arms, perhaps to hug her pregnant belly. Look out for scratches, lozenges and other symbols. Below her arms you may look for signs of her belly button or omphalos, and beneath this the feldspar has been removed to reveal a prominent triangle. Towards the top of the triangle, a reddish tinge, with scratchings visible in the feldspar above and on her white flank. See in the region of the belly a complex of symbols, dominated by an hourglass, double axe or butterfly. It is hatched across, and in the lower hourglass triangle there is the cut-out lozenge of her belly button. These Vinca culture, Eastern European Neolithic idols, are highly decorated, especially at their centres. A double chevron forms the lower part of the hourglass and is a sign of the bird goddess, according to Gimbutas. Below this, the edge of the fertile triangle is symmetrically nicked and will reveal anatomical details beneath her skin. The depiction of her ovaries is perhaps surprising, but Marija Gimbutas suggests that the bull's head and horns imagery of Catalhoyuk also represents the female reproductive system, and explains this as knowledge from excarnation practices to prepare the dead, and especially their bones, for the afterlife. Says the sovereign Lord, say to them, gather together for my great sacrificial feast. Whether by embedding ochre pigment or revealing underlying colour by excising the feldspar, then the upper part of the triangle has gained a distinct reddish tinge. This may be symbolic of the blood of life. Drink the blood of princes as though they were rams, lambs, goats, and fat young bulls of Bashan. Gorge yourselves with the ovary complexes are worked as groups of lozenges. The ones to our left are hatched with fine lines, and those to our right sculpted in sunken and bas relief, with smaller lozenges at their centres. The dotted lozenge is a fertility symbol, both as a seed in a field, and as that of the female herself, an M or zigzag symbol in the hard white layer with crosses and net patterns are visible at low sunlight angles. They are associated with mothering, the bird goddess, water streams, and sacred moisture. On her right flank are complex networks of lines and sculpts into the white mineral. Square holes are the centres for radiating lines. Lozenges, triangles, zigzags and chevrons, lines parallel and radiating. Net structures and grids catch the eye from different light directions.
The beautiful homes of the wealthy, their winter mansions and their summer houses too, all their palaces filled with ivory. I, the Lord, have spoken. Listen to me, you fat cows of Samaria, you women who oppress the poor and crush the needy, who are always asking your husbands for another drink. The sovereign Lord has sworn this by his holiness. The time will come when you will be led away with hooks in your noses. Every last one of you will be dragged away like a fish on a hook. You will leave by going straight through the breaks in the wall. You will be thrown from your fortress. I, the Lord, have spoken.
A bold triangle with overhanging lines and a nearby nest of chevrons, highlighted in red, might, with the help of other lines nearby to complete fins, be imagined into a fish. A systematic survey of this area may reveal many more symbols.
Says the sovereign Lord. Their idols are merely things of silver and gold, shaped by human hands. They cannot talk, though they have mouths, or see, though they have ears. They cannot hear with their ears, or smell with their noses, and those who make them are just like them, as are all who trust in them.
Looking at the back of the goddess, we see that there is no white mineral layer, and the underlying structure is of fine vertical, light and dark rock bands. A toothed tool has made at least 2 parallel passes at right angles to the natural banding, to suggest a checkerboard effect. Note how the diagonal hatching on one side of the idol and checkerboard on the other is similar in plan to that of the Woodcock Corner Neolithic slate disc, found also in Cornwall at Truro in 2012. In the microscopic detail, we may wonder what is natural, and whether pigments and diagonal scratchings have been added. The artist surely intended this ambiguity.
Neither you nor your ancestors have known. They might suggest that you worship the gods of peoples who live nearby.
Below, where her arms almost meet about her belly, are fine cross-hatched checkerboards, incised into the hard white layer. Neolithic examples of checkerboard patterns are also at Harrow Hill flint mines and in the rock shelters of the Paris Basin at Fontainebleau and Abri-Louillet. And be afraid that wickedness will never again be done among you. I am the Lord, your God, who makes you
not worship any other god beside me. Do not make idols of any kind, whether it is in the shape of birds or animals or
Spirals,
beasts.
often simplified as hooks, are unfolding energy and water symbols. Some are visible on her white flank and triangle, and the eye, relieved of imagining patterns in the straight lines, finds curved shapes emerging from nature.
I do not believe and punish the sins of those who hate me, but I punish the children for the sins of their parents to the third and fourth generations.
On her neck a tiny graver-cut spiral, and magnified to an image size of 1 by 1.5 millimeters. The diagonally pitched, sculpted lozenges of her head pick up the light and shadow. Simpler incised lozenges on her body and complex coloured designs are worked into the natural banding of her fertile triangle.
Measuring them at the foot of the mountain, the cloth they had made and melted it in the fire, and when the metal had cooled, he ground it into powder and mixed it with
Like many other idols, she has something under her neck, often seen as a single bead on a pendant, sometimes cylindrical like a phallus, or circular like the sun. The male is here more obvious as a horned head, rather like a Vinca mask. His fertility is represented in his colour as black as good soil, and his temporary and sacrificial role by being worn decapitated as a trophy around her neck.
as the Lord has despised other nations in your path, you also will be destroyed for not obeying the Lord your God. As for some meat, they exclaimed, we remember all the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt, and we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions and garlic that we wanted. But now our appetites are gone, and day after day we have nothing to eat but this manna. The manna looks like small coriander seeds, pale yellow in colour. The people gathered it from the ground and made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars.
The goddess of Clodgy Moor is one of the few Neolithic idols found in Britain. 4 of them are from the Orkney Isles, and the Grimes Graves example may be a fake. I hope that soon many more idols will be recognised, now that we know what to look for.